Well, hello again, dear friends and flight sim enthusiasts. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator and yet another exciting video. Today we are going to take a look at the TFDI Design MD-11, which is now, according to the developer, is feature complete. The collector's edition has not received an update yet, so the aircraft you see here is not the feature complete version because we are waiting for that to be released to the collector's edition owners, but I think it's close for the final release, to public release. Therefore, we are going to take a look at the MD-11 in its cargo configuration, MD-11F, and we will be doing a full flight today. Last time I started recording and then there were some issues, so I didn't want to waste anybody's time and mine as well to record the part 2 for descent, approach and landing, because there were some issues that I experienced. Anyway, most of those are now fixed and I think we can do a full flight today with the MD-11 and Beyond ATC as our ATC provider. We are currently at Memphis in the United States, Kilo Mike Echo Mike, and our destination is Minneapolis, Kilo Mike Sierra Papa. This should be fairly short route, an hour 30 minutes airtime, but just to keep things going, let's get this started and let's meet in the cockpit to prepare the aircraft for departure. Here we are in the cockpit of TFDI Design MD-11F. We are currently cold and dark. GPU is connected to the aircraft and we will continue with the cockpit pre-flight configuration checks, flows, whatever you want to name it, and continue with powering the aircraft up, programming our flight plan, requesting our clearance, pushing back, and we will be hopefully in our way very shortly. Our scheduled departure time is 15:20 Zulu. Local time is actually right now, I don't know, I have to check. But yes, that's roughly giving us around 30 minutes to prepare the aircraft. Also, I'm gonna leave the performance display here, the FPS and CPU and GPU load, for you guys to get an understanding of how this aircraft performs. This is with high-end settings, just keep that in mind because I need some overhead for the recording software. It's eating up some, and there are some apps in the background that I am running to be able to record this video, so keep those in mind when we are talking about this. Anyway, let's get the overhead flows. Let's start with the cockpit pro-flight and introduce power to the aircraft. Wipers are in the off position. IRSs are off. Cargo temperatures are low. All the lights are in the off position. Landing gear is down. Flaps are retracted. Speed brake is stowed. Parking brake is now set. Fuel switches are in the cutoff position. Throttles are idle. Weather radar is off. And I believe that's all to start introducing power to the aircraft. We will start with the battery power. We'll give it a couple minutes. The DC systems will kick in. And we have a ground power available, so let's put the ground power on. With this, we can start our flows. We will come back to the IRS switches here in a little bit, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Cockpit voice recorder, we can test. Cargo temperature will remain in its current position. I think that's good enough. Engine ignition selector will be off for now. And fire handles are in and not engaged. Hydraulic system, we can just, the pumps are off because we are not running any hydraulic pumps, but we can do a hydraulic system test, and the test can be monitored through our hydraulics page. If we go in there, hydraulic pressure test is in place. This takes a while, so I'm not gonna monitor that until it's done. Electrical panel, we'll put the emergency power to arm, and nothing else to worry here. Down below, cockpit, this is the bleed air panel. We are not gonna touch anything here just yet. Fuel panel, nothing to do here too. We will test the quantities. It is now working. And we have the dump pump and the this other one was called, oh man, it's too far away. MEMF. Those are guarded. They should be guarded. I still cannot remember what MEMF stands for. If you know the MD-11 better than I do, please let me know. Down below, we will keep everything here as is. We will turn the nav lights on. We will arm the emergency lights. And even though we are a cargo flight, we can have some personnel with us. So we will turn the no smoking and seatbelt signs on. Nothing to do over here, nothing to do with the cabin pressure. Let's reset that anti-ice system. Can't see what that message is. It says manual. We just put anti-ice system to auto. Excuse me. We will test the lights. Okay, all looking good. Reset the fuel used and move up to check the engine fire tests.
Engine 1 fire. Engine 2 fire. Engine 3 fire.
Okay.
Engine 1 fire.
That's enough. Down here, oh by the way, before I forget, let's just put the IRS switches to nav. That will also do the cargo fire test. And now we can go down to the MCP. Alright, let's clear this master warning. We can get some lights. Actually, we can do that here too. Nice. Over here, nothing here. We want traffic. We want the VOR 1 and 2. We can decrease the range to 5 miles for now. We'll set the MCP later. Nothing else we can do here. We can test the oxygen if it's implemented. Looks like it is not yet. And that's pretty much it for the electrical power up procedure. We can now go and start programming our FMC. MD-11F, CF6 engines, that's TFDI MD-11 version 0.42 alpha. Database is current, and we can initialize the flight plan. We are at Kilo Mike Echo Mike, and we are departing for Kilo Mike Sierra Papa. Minneapolis, let's plug this in there. Flight number is FedEx 1407. Cruise level according to our flight plan. Let me just check it very quickly. Flight level 340. I still don't know how you enter this. I'm gonna leave it alone. Cost index is 20. We can align the IRS, and finally our alternate airport is Kilo Mike Sierra November. Beautiful. That's the init page. Next page, we can do the block fuel and payload. It should be here. Our zero fuel weight is 421.29. Let's just round it up to 3. 421.3. That's the zero fuel weight. Our block fuel looks like 54.63, and it should be also here if we go back to the engine page. Block fuel 54.6, we will use that figure here. And this is in pounds, by the way. And then the CGs, because we don't have that in the EFP just yet, we will use the sensor data 27.8, 27.1. This might not be in an order, this might be programmed later after boarding, but I am not trying to follow a complete procedure. I'm just trying to see if this aircraft has improved since I last flew it. Alright, that's done. We are not gonna do anything here, and we can go to the flight plan. So now we haven't contacted ATC yet, so I'm not sure which departure we will be given, but our first waypoint is odd 8. We can at least program that. From odd 8 we are going to directly to Foxtrot Tango Zulu. From there we are going to Minoso. And all the cockpit sounds are now implemented except couple, so that's really great to hear the sounds when you start clicking switches or buttons in the cockpit. From Minoso is our arrival. I'm gonna program our arrival for now, and if we need to change it, we can. So we are expecting, with the current flight plan, Blue Mike 4 or Blue M4 arrival. And we are expecting an ILS to, let me see, runway 30 left. And our transition, let me just check the car charts real quick, because I don't know if we have transition from here to there. I'm just checking the charts on my other screen. Alright, let's see here. Our transition to the star looks like is OP, and our transition to approach from our star is Hapton. All good now, and we can insert this. That's our arrival. We have slight discontinuity here, which we can clear up, and we should be now good, except our departure, which we will set once we contact ATC, listen to ADIS, and get that information, and then we will just we can start the boarding. I believe it's not gonna hurt anything just now, and I'm not gonna keep you guys all here until we board the aircraft and load our cargo.
Boarding requested.
Okay, let's see what options we get. Alright, they are loading the cargo. Nice. It's probably going to ask us to open the doors. Let's just do that. And I'll keep the charts here because I might just discuss those with you. Alright, what was I doing? Oh, the ADIS. The ADIS frequency for Memphis is 127.75. Let's tune that. By the way, Beyond ATC cannot auto-tune the frequencies in this aircraft. I discovered that during a test flight 2 days ago, so we have to tune it for our co-pilot to respond while we are flying and busy. So therefore, pre-tuning the frequency will become a little bit important in this flight.
Departing runways 18 center, 18 right. 5G notice in effect. Advise on initial contact. You have information Alpha.
We have information Alpha.
Memphis Airport information Alpha. 00540. Wind 110 and 8 visibility 10. Ceiling 15,000 broken. 25000 overcast. Temperature 27. Dew point 18. Altimeter 2978. Landing runways 18 center, 18 left, 18 right. Departing runways 18 center, 18 right.
Okay.
5G notice in effect. Advise on initial contact. You have information Alpha.
Alright, that's good enough. We have information Alpha. We set the QNH. Departure runways are 18 center and 18 right. And that's what I was expecting according to my flight plan that I generated through SimBrief. No, the SimBrief is thinking we should depart using 36 left, so we might have to change it in our in my charts to have the correct departure. Clearance delivery is 125.2 or 0.2, so we can tune that. Should be it. And we can contact clearance delivery and request our IFR clearance. Memphis delivery, good afternoon. FedEx 1407 with information Alpha. We are currently at cargo ramp. Stand (452). Request IFR to Minneapolis.
FedEx 1407, Memphis clearance, information Alpha correct, cleared to Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, JT5 departure, O-date transition, then is filed. Maintain 4000, departure frequency 124.65, squawk 0101.
Okay, let's read the spec. FedEx 1407 is cleared to Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, runway 18 center, JT5 departure with O-date transition, initial altitude 4000, departure on 124.65, squawk 0101.
Negative, JT5 departure, O-date transition, then is filed.
JT5 departure, O-date transition, then as filed.
FedEx 1407, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for push or start.
Ground on 121.9er, FedEx 1407. So we'll tune the ground frequency. Squawk code is 0101. We are clear to 4000 initially, and it looks like we will be departing from runway 18 center according to what we are given by Beyond ATC. So let's go and program that. Standard instrument departure 18 center. Where is the departure? JT5 with O-date transition. We do not have transition here, but let's insert because we have O-dates programmed as our waypoint here. And that should conclude our flight planning in the FMC, except we haven't done the takeoff approach calculation just yet. Alright, that's good enough. Actually, let's do that and complete our flight management, our main control panel or MCP configuration too. Alright, so now I need to get some information from Navigraph for Memphis Airport. We are departing runway 18 center and the slope is 0.63. So 0.63 slope and current wind is 7 knots. That will be entered here. Ultimate temperature is 27 degrees Celsius according to ADIS, and that's also confirmed here. We will depart with flaps 10, and flex temperature we can use at 45 flex. This is not quite possible yet to calculate this, but yes. And then we will confirm the V-speeds. V2 is 171. We'll set the MCP speed to V2 plus 5, 176. Runway QDM for our departure runway would be, let's see here, 18 center, 180, so that's perfect. We can set the heading to 180. This is gonna take a while, as the switch is not quite fast to rotate with mouse wheel, but there's 180. Altitude is set, and we are done with the MCP. Baro is set. Is this set on the standby? I'm not sure if it's synced. No, it's not, so we will set the standby to the barometric pressure of the field, and we can help our co-pilot, who doesn't exist, to do the same thing. Okay, MCP is also done. We are pretty much done with the preparation at this point, except we need to start the APU now. Let's get it started. IRS is aligned, and we can check the plan page here in a little bit and go and see our routing. And we haven't done the stab trim yet. It's showing 4.0. While the APU is starting, let's do that. 39 and 4. Stab trim is also set. Auxiliary hydraulic pump can come on now. I think that's turned on when we are getting close to pushback to pressurize the hydraulic system so that our brakes will hold. That's the brake, and the boarding is complete. Perfect, just on time. Let's close the doors. Cargo doors are now closing. Passenger doors, which is used for the pilots, is also now closing. And we are pretty much ready to request our pushback after checking everything here. Hex will be off, yada yada yada. This is looking okay. We can set the auto brakes to takeoff. And one final thing I need to do is set the flap setting here. It's actually set to 10, so I'm not changing it. So the dial is set. Dial flap setting is flaps 10. And that's pretty much all we need to do before we can leave the gate. Alright, I guess once the APU is started, which it did, we can turn the APU bleed on and disconnect the external power, and the aircraft should continue an APU power. We can disconnect the GPU and the chocks, and we can now request pushback, because I think we are all ready to leave Memphis. Nice. Anything I forgot here? No, actually not. Yeah, let's do that and request our clearance for pushback and engine start. So the ground is 121.9er or 0.9er. We set that. And what's the other frequency that I can tune? Well, we have the tower 128.2425. Let's tune that too, because we will be handed over to tower at some point. Nice. Memphis ground, good morning, FedEx 1, good afternoon, FedEx 1407. Request push and start.
FedEx FedEx 1407, Memphis ground, pushback, and engine start approved.
Push and start approved, FedEx 1407. Am I using the premium voices? I am suspecting I'm not. No, we are. Okay, that's premium voices. That sounded a little bit like the 80s guy, but never mind. Okay, we are approved for push and start. Let's just call GSX. And let's prepare the aircraft for push and start. In the meantime, we can turn our beacon light on. Fuel pumps are okay. Starter selector is starter A. PACs will turn off automatically. We have done the tests. And nothing to worry here. Yeah, we are good to go. There is
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
our pushback crew. That stairs. Oh, no, it's just. I thought it was too close to the wing, but it's not. So, taxi routing wise, let's see what I'm expecting. We are at cargo ramp 9
Checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
to runway 18 center. It's a very short taxi route, and we should push the tail to left, tail to right, nose to left. And then I'm expecting Sierra and Bravo as our taxi routing from ATC. That's the shortest, and we can take a look at it while we are waiting for pushback crew to connect. If I pull the taxi chart and the airport chart, there is 18 center. We are currently here. If I can zoom in just a little bit, you can see a little bit better. Stand 9, pushing the tail right, nose left, taking taxiway Sierra, crossing runway 27, Sierra again, and then Bravo to 18 center. So, tail right, nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brake is released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Starting
Okay, great. Starter is selected. Packs are off. We are gonna start engine 3, engine 1, and engine 2. Now we are pushing. Starting engine 3. Looking for the M1. Once it passes 15%, we can introduce fuel. Sounds are improved. They are maybe perhaps not that great still, but they are significantly improved since the release. Do I have the packs still on? No. We're past 20%. I was looking to the wrong gauge. We have to monitor N2, not M1. That's my bad. Well, doesn't matter. We'll be good. Alright, we have light off. Oil pressure is increasing. Oil temperature is increasing. Starter cutout. Starting engine number 1. Looking for 15% here on the N2 gauge. There's 15. Fuel is on. Fuel flows in. We have light off, oil pressure, and oil temperature. Nice. Waiting for starter cutout again. Starter cutout, starting engine number 3. Looks like we are done with the pushback, just on time. Engines are almost there.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes are set.
Confirmation for a good engine start.
Past 15, introducing fuel. Fuel flow is seen. Light off. Oil pressure and oil temperature. That's a good engine start. Let's just get rid of the tug. Nice. Starter cutouts. We should be all good now. PEX 2 will come on here in a little bit once the engine stabilizes. Generators should be online now, and we can disconnect or we can shut down the APU once we have everything up and running. Not sure we have the PEX 2 off.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin
I
removed.
guess we'll get there. We'll turn off the APU bleed.
Left
Oh
is
yeah.
clear. Right is clear.
And then we can turn off the APU now. Reset the fuel used as we are getting ready to start taxiing. And we can request our taxi clearance. FedEx ground, Memphis ground, FedEx 1407. Request taxi to active.
FedEx 1407, runway 18 center, taxi via Victor Bravo. Hold short, runway 9er.
Taxi to runway 18 center via Victor Bravo, hold short runway 09er FedEx 1407. That's not what I was
FedEx
expecting.
1407, cross runway 9er at Bravo. Continue taxi via Victor Bravo.
Cross runway 9er at Bravo, continue taxi via Victor Bravo, FedEx 1407. Okay, so that's our taxi instructions. Let's take a look at the taxi chart and we'll be on our way. So we are told, as we are here, we are told to cross runway 9er at Victor Bravo, this intersection. Oh, so it's not gonna give us Sierra. And then we will continue via Bravo to runway 18 center. That makes sense, which means we pushed the aircraft to the wrong direction. But so be it. Lesson learned. It is fine. Before we leave the gate, let's just do the flight controls check. Hold forward, hold back, hold left, hold right, and finally right rudder and left rudder. Okay, flight controls are free and correct, and we are good to go after setting the aircraft up for taxi. Nose light will come to taxi. We can turn on the runway turn off lights. Transponder goes to TA array. We'll turn the weather radar on when we are close to the runway. And we can arm the speed brakes. Oh, I keep doing this incorrectly. It's rolling the mouse wheel down. We'll arm the speed brakes, which is now done. And we will set the flaps. I was reading something about MD-11 and it was telling that the flaps are set once you get the aircraft moving for taxi. By the way, we can also arm the nav and profile so they are ready. And we can now disengage the parking brake. I'm gonna use my controller for that. It's now disengaged. Give her some power to roll. And we gotta turn around, guys. That's the part that sucks, unfortunately, because I did expect the incorrect taxiway and we were not given a push direction when we requested push and start. So let's just turn around, keep the thrust just a little bit high to make it easier for the aircraft to turn. Luckily, we don't have any aircraft on our right side. We can turn around nice and easy. Okay, looking good. And finally we are making some progress with the turn. I think they need to adjust the nose wheel steering with the tiller axis just a little bit more, even though I have quite some dead zone as well as some curves. It's still like not great. The turns are still challenging. Alright, we can close the config page and go back to the engine page to monitor the aircraft. And that's the taxiway we need to take. Victor Bravo, cross runway 27. We are already told to cross at Bravo, so I'm not gonna contact them again to get confirmation to cross the runway. Now the sim is lagging for some reason. I'm not sure what this is. And this is gonna get stuck. This happens. This is kind of a bug with this current version of the simulator, and the menu gets stuck here, but you guys need to live with that for now, because the only way to reset is to restart the flight, which I'm not going to do. That sucks, but it happens. Alright, we are gonna cross runway 9 here at Bravo. Can bring the throttles back just a little bit. She should be able to roll with the idle thrust. And they will probably hand us over to the tower very shortly. I hope that's the correct tower frequency that I pre-tuned. There's Bravo, so we'll continue on Bravo, make this right turn, and that should take us to runway 18 center. It started raining. We might need engine anti-ice, but I opted in for automatic anti-ice system in the EFB, so the aircraft should take care of it, just to reduce the workload just a little bit. Right, very narrow taxiway for a bird this big. Look at that.
FedEx 1407, contact Memphis Tower 28425.
Tower on 28425, FedEx 1407.
Negative, tower on 28425.
Tower on 28425, FedEx 1407. Alright, so that's the hold short point for runway 18 center. We will stop here and contact tower. Let's stop here. Alright, let's set the parking brakes for now. Tower, good afternoon, FedEx 1407, holding short runway 18 center, ready for departure.
FedEx 1407, backtrack runway 18 center. Call when ready for departure.
Backtrack? Why am I backtracking runway 18 center? That's a little bit bizarre, but maybe it's not able to read the airport data, perhaps?
FedEx 1407, backtrack runway 18 center. Call when ready for departure.
Backtrack runway 18 center, call for when ready, FedEx 1407. Okay, I'm gonna call them that I'm ready after configuring the aircraft. I am not backtracking anything, that's 18 center right in front of me. So these things will be fixed by Beyond ATC developers. They have been pushing updates almost daily. So I'm pretty sure these will be fixed. Anyway, let's just get this aircraft configured for takeoff. We have the takeoff clearance, so landing lights will come on. Nose light will go to landing. High intensity will go on, that's our strobes. And we haven't set the flaps yet, so we will set those. And now we are good to go. We should have a green box after brakes are disengaged. There's the green box. And let's call the ATC. Memphis Tower, FedEx 1407, ready for departure.
FedEx 1407, Memphis Tower, wind 110 at 8 or nav to Cheeto, runway 18 center, cleared for takeoff.
RNAV to Cheeto, runway 18 center, cleared for takeoff, FedEx 1407. Okay, we are cleared. We are giving an RNAV to Cheeto. Okay, that's fine. That's on our routing. We will line up and do a rolling takeoff because now we are cleared. There. Once you have some speed, ground handling is fine. Those narrow turns, I think for an aircraft this size, it's expected that they are not gonna be great. So now we have everything. We'll I turned on the auto thrust. We will increase the throttles to 70% and the auto thrust should take on. And set the takeoff thrust. Let's maintain the center line. Coming to 80 knots. Placing the pressure on the yoke, coming to V1. Rotate speed. We'll gently lift the nose and initially keep lifting the nose up until 15 degrees and follow the flight director. Positive rate of climb, gear is coming up now. And we will follow the flight director and turn on auto tune and auto respond for our co-pilot to respond. Well, let's bring the nose.
FedEx 1407, contact Memphis departure.
Contact Memphis departure, FedEx 1407.
Okay, I'm gonna go autopilot at this point. So let's engage the auto flight so that we can handle the radios. 12465. Co-pilot should respond once we switch the frequency.
Memphis, FedEx 1407. Good day, 2700.
FedEx 1407, Memphis departure.
Flap direction speed, we will bring the flaps in.
17,000.
Climb and maintain 17,000, FedEx 1407.
That's a little bit twitchy, but we are clear to 17,000. And sleds can come in now. Beautiful. This should be all for takeoff. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, let's keep our eyes on the instruments. It's a little bit nasty, but we are doing just fine. Let's now, I think profile is disarmed, so let's arm the profile back up to get up to 17,000. We should be now good. Let's clean the aircraft up after takeoff. Auto brakes can be turned off now. They are now off. I am using my controller to do that part. Nothing to do over here. Nose light can turn off, so does runway turn off lights. Once passing 10,000 we can turn off the landing lights. So far so good, and we will probably clear the clouds here in a little bit. Very nice. I'll keep you guys here just a little bit more until we are clear to our cruising altitude, and then I will cut the video there to bring you guys back when we are ready to descend, or when we are at cruise we can discuss a couple more things there too. Very nice flight with the autopilot now. It wasn't like this, but very gentle turns. It's a little bit twitchy or sensitive on the pitch, but not so much on the roll, so I hope they will fix that too. And we are at 10,000. Let's turn off the landing lights. And let's put the signs to auto. Beautiful. Now we are waiting for 18,000 to go standard pressure. And that will be the last thing. And we are also waiting for ATC to clear us higher to our cruising altitude, or any altitude that's higher than our current assigned altitude. Very nice. Actually, I am liking this. I haven't flown the MD-11 maybe for the last 2 months, but with the updates I think it's improved significantly, in my opinion. Alright. TCAS is working. We forgot to turn the weather radar on, I believe, but I don't think it's functional just yet, because I'm not seeing anything here, and pushing that will not turn anything on or off, so maybe it's just coming with the final update. Do I need to put the data on for weather? I'm not sure, because there is no assigned weather radar button here on our AFIS panel. Actually, I'm impressed. It's following the flight plan path very nicely. We are at 40-mile range. We can go one more up to 80 miles and monitor our flight plan routing, and from here it's just getting up to cruise level and getting to our destination.
FedEx 1407, contact Memphis Center 118.625.
Contact Memphis Center 118.625, FedEx 1407.
Alright, we will acknowledge that and switch to the center.
Memphis Center, FedEx 1407, crossing 14,800 for 17,000.
FedEx 1407, Memphis Center, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Beautiful. We are
Climb
clear
and
to our
maintain
cruising
flight level
altitude.
340, FedEx 1407.
Nice, that's it guys. We are clear to our cruise level, and I will cut the video here, bring you guys back when we are ready to discuss our descent. See you at top of descent.